All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk. My name is Joyce Spencer Mintz. Want to welcome you to Real Talk 100. Got my co-host here, Miss Rosemary Carter, and we are so glad that you joined us tonight. We're gonna give you a little moment to come on in here, tune in, make sure that you are ready for the conversation tonight. As always, we give the disclaimer: you have the right to agree or disagree with anything that we say here tonight, and we're still gonna love you. We bring it to you real. It's called Real Talk 100 because we don't practice what we say. We keep it real. All right. So, co-host, would you like to greet our fans tonight? While we wait on our guests to chime in.
Yes, how's everyone doing? It's a wonderful day. It's trying to figure out what this weather is about to do. It's storming, it's sun shining, it's doing all type of things all at once. I'm in confusion right now. And
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
prayerfully.
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo
Hola,
estás?
handsome. How
Pues,
are
¿Cómo,
you?
How
cómo
y'all
estás?
doing?
I'm all right, cuz. How you? Look,
I'm
cousin,
blessed.
Awesome.
I'm blessed.
I was gonna have my wig on and everything, but I couldn't get it together. I said, my cousin, I keep getting to see his face. He don't never get to see mine. I said,
Throw a
so,
hat on.
oh,
Or
you know,
you can let the salt and pepper show if you got some. I don't know.
I'll be in here
I don't
looking
know.
like dirt. I'll be in here looking like a brother named Dirt. We ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. You're not gonna do that to me
Okay.
on these
We ain't gonna
internet,
do that.
not on Obama internet. We ain't doing that.
Right.
You know,
I
'cause
All
can dig
right.
it.
Well, as I said, we always keep it real. So it's cousin talk and real talk time. And I think I got a little kickback, but we're gonna fix that too, y'all. Um, so Mel, all right, it's your turn to greet the people tonight as well. Give an intro.
yeah.
Hey, how y'all doing, world? I'm my auntie is the top host. My cousin Rose is I guess the second host, and I'm a guest. Pleased to make y'all
Well,
acquaintance.
you have now become an official co-host too. And
Hello.
we want to thank
Moving
you
on
for
up like the
showing up.
Jeffersons.
Won't you recruit?
Huh?
Won't you recruit?
Actually, I'm recruited.
Well, y'all know that's what I do best. Since we talking about recruiting, I'm going to go ahead and throw this on out there before the show starts. Don't everyone remember to check my Facebook. I've sent out links about a community effort that is going on. I need y'all to pay attention. I need you to go ahead, post. I want to thank my good friend, Miss Janetta Spencer. Um, um, being a grandparent, bags. And I want to thank her because she's jumped right aboard of supporting. That's what it's about, supporting each other and whatever we do and understanding what God has for you is for you. Can't nobody take that. Can't nobody do what it is he's called you to do. Only you can do that. Now they make it duplicated, but they're still gonna mess it up because the assignment he has for you is for you. And there's so much room out here to help people, and especially people in need. So we are having a huge community event. It's going to be held at 2946 Ivy Street in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And we are looking for everyone to come on out and be a part. Donate, support. We're helping the children get back to school. We're helping the homeless with personal care items. We are helping with information in the community to help people not only be better, but do better. That's what we're here. Recovery, resources,
Mm.
education. That's what we do. All right, y'all. I done did the plug for My Daughter's House Incorporated. And you can contact me or look me up on one of my Facebook pages or YouTube. And, all right. So now we're going to move on over here to Real Talk 100. And y'all know we don't do anything by rehearse. We don't rehearse it. So our topic tonight is, because last week y'all know we was talking. I said, what would you tell your 25-year-old self today? If you were looking at you at 25 and knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 25-year-old self? All right. Don't everybody jump in, raise their hand at once. I think we lost our co-host, but she'll be back.
My 25-year-old self, I would tell myself, the streets ain't for you. 'Cause it's only landing you in prison. You know, you got a child now, work a 9 to 5, you cut hair. You always been cutting hair, stick to that. But yeah, that's what I would tell myself.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I know your cousin had a whole lot she wanted to tell herself, so she's jumping back in on this stream. All right, Miss Carter, if you could speak to your 25-year-old self, what would you have told it?
Woo, let's see. It's about time.
Yeah, lean on back, nephew.
Well, you know what I first would have said to my 25-year-old self? Because both children was here by then. So, but I would have said, 25-year-old self, when you tell your mama in 2 years that we need to invest and start a grocery delivery business, make her do it. That's what I would have said.
Right.
Oh, I'd have wrote me a letter. I'd have wrote me a letter about that right there. But I also would have said to live a little more.
Awesome.
What do you mean live a little more?
Spend time with your kids. Don't work so much. Spend time with your children. Don't always think that you could. I got that you have time to do it later.
All right, all right.
Makes sense.
That makes sense. Hey, I want to say
what about you, Auntie?
Yeah, she tried it, didn't you?
Well,
what about you, Auntie?
I'm gonna say this, that you know, by the time I was 25, because I'm gonna go ahead and get on down in there. Y'all know we keep it real. Well, by the time I was 25, I was already a mother of 3. I was already a widow. Had jumped back over to the single side, had to learn how to take care of 3 kids, and had already received information that I was going blind. So at 25, right now at the age I am, to tell my 25-year-old self something, I would probably say I should have chose my circle a little better. Because at that time it took me down a road that I really wasn't ready for. And so I would have told my 25-year-old self to remain faithful spiritually, because I was really into Christianity and my connection with God. I've always been that way since a teenager. And you know, with everything that life had already thrown me, instead of staying focused where I should have been spiritually, I turned and crossed the track. And so the Lord had taken me around the block more than once to get me back to where I am. But my 25-year-old self probably wouldn't have even been living had it not been the grace of God. So I would say, girl, sit down and listen to what the Lord is saying to you. Okay. That's what I would have told my 25-year-old self.
Okay.
Let's see. What else I would have told her? Oh man. Whew.
What else you would have told?
I would have told her. Man, I don't even know. I had a good time at 25. I had a good time. You know, Jeremiah showed up during the year 25, so you know, I kind of want him around. So I wouldn't.
What year is that?
2005 for me. You know, you older than me, cause my year.
I'm trying to.
We not doing this.
No, I'm trying to figure out where I
See,
was
y'all,
at
I
that
was
age.
25 back in the 80s, you know.
Really?
So
We're not gonna do that, Mel. Oh, we're
in
not
the
gonna do that.
early 80s.
No, because I'm trying to
Okay,
figure
we
out
got
where was I.
Jazz coming in here
Yeah,
tonight.
you
Let's
you
see
were
what we
you were
got.
25 before me, Mel. We ain't gonna do this. Now you don't get to
I'm
share my.
trying to.
All
I'm just
right.
trying to
We
figure out
got
where I
our
was at.
first guest on the studio, too. Hey, Miss Judy. Hello. Happy to have you here tonight.
25.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
y'all, how
we're
y'all
talking
doing?
about what you have told your 25-year-old self today.
Oh, okay. How y'all doing?
All right, all
We're
right.
good. How are you tonight?
Y'all didn't tell me y'all had a man on here.
Okay, your
Oh, that ain't no
volume is
man. That's
real
my
low.
cousin. No, I'm just kidding.
You still my man?
Your volume real low though. I can't hear you very well.
Oh, okay.
Bring it on up, girl. Pick it on up.
How about that?
I want to make sure we have no spaces in our recording tonight because we're getting a little deeper in a minute.
Okay.
So, Rose, you through telling your 25-year-old self something?
Yeah, 'cause she wasn't trying to hit nothing no way.
Mm.
You couldn't really tell her much.
So, Miss Lopez, hey girl.
Hey.
So,
Hola.
Uh,
right, my
I
sister.
don't even know what
So,
year that was.
what
Uh,
year were you 25?
2003, 2001, huh? We're not doing
For
it.
too
who? For
far
Okay.
me?
back for me.
Yeah, I'm talking about you. We gonna, yeah.
I think was that about that? Well, that means I was probably incarcerated.
See,
Let me see. It's 2023.
97. 97 for me. I think.
Wait, you know
Yeah.
what? Because chances is 27. I don't know. I think I was
So, Trudy, you
incarcerated.
said you were 25 in 1997?
ooh, that was a
I
year,
think
boy.
so.
Let me tell you.
Yeah,
Huh?
because I had my daughter when I was 23, and that was 1995. So 2 more years would have made it 97.
All right.
Let's see. 25.
Bless your heart, Sister Trudy. You wasn't
2
fast like
years.
me. I was fast.
Y'all
Yeah, I
make
think
me
I was
feel like
incarcerated.
I must be the senior of this bunch. I was 25 in 1985.
That was a good year too. I'm just,
Yeah, it was. I was a kid then.
right. Ain't had no bills.
Well, the good thing
I
about
was
being
still
colored
shooting
is
marbles.
nobody else can tell. So,
I
Right,
was still shooting marbles.
right.
Playing, playing basketball on milk crates.
Okay. You know what?
So,
Somebody took my
I was
mom.
thinking
Now that was the
about,
time when the neighborhood raised us, because if you did something wrong, the neighbors and family, they might not have lived with you, but you finna get your butt whooped.
All the
My
way home.
granddaddy, Rose, granddaddy stayed across the street from me. So when I got a whooping by mama and my stepdaddy, I also got a whooping by granddaddy.
Yeah.
I also got a whooping
He
by Aunt Brenda,
he didn't whoop me.
Aunt Willie Mae. They was whooping my butt.
Look at you talking about you. Did it tell you? And now you the
so,
fine upstanding gentleman.
and you know what? So I want to say this, and then I won't say this, because I was thinking about when I was talking about, talking to your 25-year-old self, and I was thinking about how, a lot of times, things hold us back. Even all the things that were going on back there when you were 25, and now you all are in your 40s. Me and Trudy is a little bit up there. That's all
how
right, girl.
dare
We good.
you?
We see
That's
you.
right. Tell Sister
But
Trudy. Speak about it.
just thinking about that, um, it's like 20 years or so have passed into your lives. Are you still holding on to anything from back then when you were 25 that you have brought all the way up to your 40s?
Can you say that again?
Is there anything that you were dealing with when you were 25 that you are still dealing with, holding on to in your 40s. And I want y'all to think about it. And then I'm gonna say, raise your hand, whoever want to go first.
I'm putting my hand down because I don't.
She volunteered. She's gonna go first.
Oh, well, fine. Well, I would say I ain't allowed to say that right now. That ain't nice.
This is
I
real
would
talk.
no, I can't do that. I would say I would say when I was 25, which that wasn't too well. It was long ago because Jeremiah be 18 in 2 months, so 18 years ago.
Mhm.
Whoo, child. I don't know. I think I'm a completely different person than what I was at 25. Trust me. Oh, believe me.
Yeah. Yes.
Because 25, I was still fighting. You could still catch the hands. Um,
And you can catch it today too.
I mean, but you can catch them quick then. I mean, you say, just saying the words, I'll beat you, I'll whip you. See, there's three magic words to get you slapped. And I just, that was my thing. And I'm happy I'm not that person. My temper ain't that quick no more.
Amen.
My temper is not
Amen.
quick
Piss
like
me
that.
off.
All right. So, Trudy, would you say there's anything that you are still dealing with
Hello?
from the past that has came all the way up to the age you are now?
Hello.
I say unconsciously, I'm still dealing with criticism. How I take, how I take how people take me. So I tend to sometimes worry about what people say about me, how people perceive me. But I've learned to deal with it as far as it's okay to get angry when it's not the way I want it, but I've learned not to stay there, move on. I was telling a friend the other day, she was telling me that she had an issue with a relative and that the relative didn't like her and she didn't understand why. And I tried to explain to her that's not your business. If you haven't
Mm-hmm.
did anything to offend your brother or sister, that's something that she has to take up with God. That's no longer your business. And so I need to take some of that advice for myself to say, okay, like I've done what I can. I haven't offended nobody. If I have, I'm pretty sure they would let me know. But I've learned that a lot of situations or a lot of labels or stereotypes that people might have put on me is not, and believe me, whew, they don't put some labels on me and I wasn't even there. But I've learned that that's just a tactic of the enemy. That's just something that the enemy uses because he knows that's what bothers me. So he's going to use that. Whatever it does, whatever it is that bothers you, that's what the devil is going to use the most or first to get to you.
You know what's
So I'm
this true?
learning how.
You got a
I'm
point
sorry.
right there. I said, you got a point right there. Well, people mislabeling people. I would say, yeah, you showing up right. I agree with you. And
I mean,
So have you had to deal
I've,
with and Rose, I know you know,
I'm sorry.
have you had to deal with that situation as well? It's like Trudy was just sharing. Her thing was she used to have to deal with dealing with the fact of what people say about her and concern herself. It used to bother her. And I heard you saying, you agree. So I'm trying to, go ahead and I don't
somebody
know
had
what this,
feedback. I don't know.
yeah. But go ahead and elaborate on that, Miss Carter or Melvin. Do you have something you want to say, Melvin?
I missed what she said because I thought it was an
You
important
ducked
call,
out
but it
for a
was.
minute.
Say it again.
You ducked out for a minute.
Yeah.
And I know y'all know we know my nephew down there in the hot heat.
Oh, it's
I
it's
see him
decent
out
in
there
the house.
playing.
It's
I
decent in
see
here
him
right
out
now.
there. Yeah,
It's
some of my
decent right
friends
now.
just, is it? So
Yeah, but
I'm gonna
I
say
had
this.
missed what Miss Trudy had said.
I'm Trudy, you want to just give him a short script of what you just said?
So to answer her question, one of the things that I deal with, I'm still dealing with that I was dealing with at the age of 25, is people mislabeling me and getting frustrated about it. And so I still get angry about it, but I don't stay there. I deal with it for whatever amount of time it bothers me. And I was sharing that whatever bothers you is what the devil is going to use to try to draw you into him.
It makes sense.
So, so do you
I
have
think,
anything you'd like to share about that, Mel?
well, I think around that age, I was already in the mind state of, or way before then, now that I think about it. Like I was never a big dweller, so when I say way before that, then that takes me back to when going into foster care, it was nothing, that was out of my control. My mom dealing with addiction or whatnot, that was out of my control. And then when I would say, even when I would pray, at that time I didn't understand prayer, but I'm thinking when you pray, you're supposed to get what you asked for. And I would pray and I didn't get my instant gratification. And then something was like, okay, well, when you learn the Lord, lean out on your own understanding, but the understanding of the word of God, it says, it taught me that I had to have patience. So with doing patience, it was like, don't dwell on something that you can't control. Because if you can control it, then more than likely it wouldn't happen. You would direct it into a different direction. So by the time I got to 25, I don't think there's something in my life that I was still dealing with back then because I was never a big dweller. And then, like she says, you know what I'm saying? The devil will use that. Anytime you're doing good, he's going to use that against you. When you're
Exactly.
doing bad, he ain't using that against you. He wants you to do bad. He wants you to go through those trials and tribulations and
Exactly.
curse God and all of that and worship him. But when he see you doing great, that's when he's thinking, yeah, I got you. You know what I mean? Because when you see that you're doing good and then something jumping your way and you like, oh, shoot. Then you'll tend to slip back into the first thing you would do is, well, let me go grab this bottle. Or let me go grab this drug of choice. And then once you get through with that bottle or that drug of choice, whatever was going on is still there. The problem is still there. It was never solved. So that means I
Exactly.
never fully put my trust in God to guide me through it because I kept letting the devil say, come on, come with me. Come with me.
So you know what? I'm glad that you shared that right there. And for the believers, and we know, and everything, there's always a naysayer. So even to the non-believers, when the Bible says it rains on the just as well as the unjust, we have to remember that. Just like you said, I'm glad you went over to talking about the addiction part and recovery, because that was one of those things that I have definitely been trying to reiterate with different people, because I see all these different substance abuse programs and we see all this money that goes out to help people who are struggling in substance abuse or recovery. But we keep having the repetitiveness of the relapse, people turning right back to what they were doing. And one of those things that I found out, and even talking to people and dealing with my own recovery, was that when you continue to visit the same thing, just like you just said, as soon as something happened, you don't have a plan in place. You don't have strategies or tools to help you, a coping mechanism, or even a team of people that support you and hold you accountable. You need to build that so that you don't go back. and pick up that bottle or pick up that drug of choice, or pick up that man or pick up that girl. Because y'all know we keep it real. Addiction is many things. Picking up them cookies and them cakes, you know. Okay.
Listening,
And so
right?
we,
Some
we
kind of
keep it
bad
real here on
cookies.
Real Talk, and it is what it is. But, really bringing awareness to recovery and the situations of relapse and relapse prevention. So anyway, thank you for adding that in there, because it gave me an opportunity to just share that. All right. Rose, do you have something you wanted to add?
I was gonna say, yeah, you're right. I think back when I was 25, things I don't deal with now that I did when I was 25. When I was 25, I would say I kind of had an issue with like being by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think like after I had kids, I didn't like really have that issue as much. I mean, I could take you or leave you by then, but I did like because I I tend to be a lot to myself. Um, I still have that issue of like letting people in. Like I don't have like a lot of real close relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have a
So
lot
I'm
of
gonna
close female
go ahead.
relationships,
I'm
and I
sorry.
don't. I mean, I still keep people at bay. You can know something about me, but you can't know all things about me.
Hmm. So I want to say this, and this is the subject I want to go over to, because one of the things I had in the title tonight was what are you holding on to that is holding you from your progress? Um, and in being as we were just talking about relationships, um, I'm gonna say, have you all, and I'm gonna start from bottom top wherever, have you experienced that where you have been in a situation, relationship, um, or something that you have been holding on to, and have you let it go, or are you still holding on to it? Um, and the second part is, if you're holding on to it, is it hindering your progress? So did y'all get all of that?
I mean,
I did.
I would say as far as like past relationships or intimate relationships with, significant other, I not holding on to it, never have. Like once we've got past being together, never went back, never double back. And that's a good thing because I believe as far as friendship now, we have a better friendship than we had when we was together. So it's like I could still laugh and joke with any woman that I was in an intimate relationship with, and it doesn't cross over into, oh, we're trying to get back together or things of that nature. So it's like, no, I'm not holding on to that. I don't know if they do, but apparently it doesn't because they don't never, oh, well, don't you think we should try this? No, it's still, they either married or about to be married or whatever they got going on, and we still be cool. Like I can see them out with their significant other. Hey, how you doing? And make both of them laugh. Like I don't want that type of bad blood or that karma because I'm holding on to something, and then it can be the smallest thing that they would consider that I've done in our relationship that was toxic, and that adds to the toxicity if I'm still carrying that on and we're not even together. That makes sense.
Makes
Like
sense
it's
to me.
not none of that stalking, ain't no- ain't
Let
no
me find out.
bashing, ain't no talking down on them, none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All
So
right.
it's like, yeah,
So
I'm not. I
I'm
don't
gonna
hold on to that. I try to hold on to the memories that I build with my family. Like I hold on to that. Whether it be good or bad. I bring it. Oh, well, Rosemary, you remember when you whoopty whoop and you hit me in my eye? Yeah, I'm gonna
Hey,
bring that back
Mhm.
up. I'm holding on to that, but I'm gonna make
hey,
sure that we laugh about it.
hey.
We gotta laugh about it. There's nothing that's gonna be. down or degrading or anything, you can support me by. Oh, that's part of the thing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, Millie.
Well,
Let
I'm
me
just
tell
saying,
you something.
cuz. I mean, you ain't
I
never
don't,
hit me in the
you
eye,
know
but I'm
what?
just saying.
Me and you ain't never had no bad blood amongst each other. He
We
just
ain't never
using
had
that
an
as an example
argument.
ever.
We ain't never
Because
had an argument.
because I understand he's the big cousin, I'm the little cousin. That's all it is
But
to
we see that's the thing though. We
So
didn't never do big cuz, little cuz. We always cuz because we first
yeah,
cousins. So it's like I
fact.
don't let Baby and Lil Herb and all that. No, we first cousins.
Right.
Like, we didn't slept in each other beds. Y'all might be a little older. Like when
Yeah,
we were smaller, y'all seemed a lot older. But once I got
right.
into teenage and then got into adulthood, y'all just a few years older than me.
They be trying
so
to
I'm
First
fud
gonna
you.
say
cousins.
so I'm gonna say, Trudy, you know, we were talking about things that you had in the past, and have anything in that past stemmed over that is hindering your progress today?
Um, yes, I can say that, but it also empowered me too. So for a long time, including today, I was mad at Shakuri's dad. She's 28 now. I don't feel like, you know how you have that feeling like that can't happen to me. Well, I had one of those moments and it happened to me. And I never thought that I could have a child by somebody and they leave me. But he did it. And it stayed with me for a while and it still lingers in my memory as a negative part of my life. But at the same time, it empowered me and strengthened me to the point to where wherever I live, I got to make sure my name on that lease. You know what I'm saying? Like I keep a roof
Yes.
over my head. I'm not going to be subjected to the same type of humiliation as he did. Not saying that anybody is capable of doing that or would do it with me, but my faith is in God and it's not in man no more, especially that one.
Amen.
So if I don't have it in him and I don't had a child by him, I definitely ain't gonna put it in another man. And you know, me and my you was there, my husband with and me and my husband with it. I love him to death and I know he
Amen.
loves me. But at the same time, no, not even you gonna put me in that position. No, we're not doing that. So I thank God for that happening because maybe I needed. That's what I needed to become a woman. You know, not be so
Mhm.
dependent upon. Sorry about that, y'all. On flesh. You know, and start focusing more on spirit. And he didn't. To me, he didn't have a good spirit, or his spirit didn't match with mine. So therefore, we could not connect. We could not grow. We could not build together. Personally, I don't think he'd be able to build with anybody, even himself. But at the same time, I want to thank him for helping
Mhm.
me flourish. But yet, it it stabbed me so deep to where I don't even think I pray for that man. I can't. It's just it's that thin line between love and hate. I guess I'd say. Y'all gotta excuse me. That was the nurse.
Yeah.
Shakori had her baby today, so we at the hospital.
Congratulations,
Oh, awesome. So we just witnessing all kinds of good stuff over here. And I want to say
So,
that Trudy and
so
I have been through a lot of things, and I thank God for bringing us through, because she had so many walls built up, and I used to pray, Lord, I'm getting through that wall. I don't care what she's saying.
mhm.
And I thank God for the growth in her, because she is an awesome young lady, always giving of herself. She's always dedicated to helping others. She loves her family, her babies, her grandbabies. Now, you better not mess with them grandbabies. Y'all gonna see the other side of her.
Mhm.
But I would say that I truly have seen all the growth in the past. Woo, children, we've spent what? Oh gosh, has it been about 10, 13 years? How old is Cameron? Okay.
You gotta turn her mic on.
It's
You on
been
mute.
about that long.
You on
So,
mute,
She got
Trudy.
her mic off.
oh, she's got her mic off,
Oh, I'm
but
sorry.
she's at
It's been
the
about 13 years. Cameron about to be
yeah,
13, so
Oh, we.
yeah.
Oh, little Cameron, 13.
It's been a
Oh,
long time. And I tell
he
you,
ain't
she is
little no
such a
more. He
good
taller
prophet
than
and
me.
she's such an awesome woman of God. I love that. And so and everything she talk about, she keeping it real, she keep it open, and that's what we do here. That's why it's called Real Talk. Cause something said here might help someone else. If not only, not only to do better, be better, but a word said here might even, someone hear us talking about something because we share. And we got another teammate coming in, y'all. Um, we share here and we keep it real, we keep it 100. And that's what I like about my guests that are always in because it's important. Something said here is going to help somebody else who's struggling with those issues, struggling with those problems. And so I try to make sure that when we bring this broadcast, we bring plenty of meat to the subject. We may have a little fun and games sometimes, but it's always serious because these matters, abuse, um, substance abuse, addictions, all of this stuff, it matters. It is important. It is important to help people as much as we can. And so I'm so grateful to be able to do that. And thank Trudy for really sharing and being honest and open with this audience tonight as well. All right. So I know we got 5 people in the stream tonight. And we just had another one of our co-hosts coming in. Catherine, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Have you been listening to our subject tonight?
No, I
And
just got on.
oh
all right.
Lord, I don't know if we ready for this.
Oh Lord, I just got on, Rose.
I don't know,
Well,
Mom.
I tell you, we have been talking about things. We've been talking first. We had a subject of what we would tell our 25-year-old self today, and then we went on over to talk about the things that from our past or relationships, addictions, whatever it is that you're holding on to that's hindering you in your progress right now today. So those are our subjects. You want to share with us what you would tell your 25-year-old self?
Get it together.
I told you we wasn't ready. What I say? I already knew.
Say get it together.
Yeah, get it together.
Straighten up and get it together.
Yeah,
What you say, Mom? What you go down there for?
yeah.
Okay, I've lost somebody in the stream.
Sis Trudy, she had to go. She at the hospital.
Okay, she had to go. Well, I'm grateful for her coming in and sharing. So now, Catherine, you said get it together.
Right.
So what was 25-year-old self doing that you need
Ooh,
to tell her to get it together?
Oh God,
don't let her incriminate you, Mama Kathy. Don't let her do it.
girl, I was doing everything under the sun. You know, you heard that old saying. You're doing everything under the sun, and I was truly doing any and everything that I wanted to do, and it didn't matter who it was or who I hurt, what I took. It didn't matter, and I was on drugs real bad. So that took a lot from me, and it took the losses and the relationship that I didn't have with God. Uh, it brought that relationship together because at that point in my life, there was nobody left but God. Everybody else had turned away from me. Even my children didn't want to have anything to do. I'm getting some feedback when I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
But 25 years old, I was wild. I was wild, you know. But today, I'm 76 years old, and I am a mature adult who stays in her
All
lane.
right.
I don't get in other folks' business. If people tell me things, I understand the importance of confidentiality. Whereas,
Amen to that.
yeah, whereas before I would tell, girl, you better not tell me nothing. It was gonna be.
So I see Trudy's here. Is all the rest of our guests in?
Yes,
Okay.
I was here the whole time.
Okay.
Y'all just couldn't hear me.
she was
Yeah,
here.
we can hear you. I kept seeing somebody else trying to click in on the stream, but I don't know who.
Yeah, I was just a waving and a talking, and y'all kept on with the conversation. Just hurt my
I caught
feelings.
your private chat. Yeah, we can
I'm
hear
hurt.
you. And I see your
I'm hurt.
picture too. So I just know we got another guest trying to come in. I don't know who it is. But they can send something up in the chat. We can read it. Okay, Catherine, I'm sorry. Continue on. You were saying with your 25-year-old self, you would be telling her to get it together
She
and
ain't-
that
she now learned the power of confidentiality.
mm-hmm,
Yeah,
yeah.
So
and that's important.
amen.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
I don't mess with your man. Uh, I don't. I used to do that kind of stuff. Uh, I'm a woman of integrity.
Okay, we got somebody else trying to come in.
Somebody left a comment and said it was a nice community event.
Okay, I see that. But somebody
Orion Battis said big respect for the community event. And that was it.
all right. Yeah, we got another beeper coming in, trying to come into the studio, and I'm not sure who. But the screen, I didn't have the layout set for. I only had a layout set for. Oh, there it is. We got another comment there. Hey, Juan. All right. So you're right. Kat, like you said, confidentiality is very important, and especially in what we do now, it's important that we keep our clients, not only our clients, but you learn this even in your friendships and relationships, to respect your friends' privacy. And if one of your friends tell you something, don't go tell another friend. What you talk about with one friend, you don't need to be sharing with another friend if that friend didn't share it with both of y'all at the same time.
That's true.
I feel like this. I know that I have several associates, but I have true friends. And my friend, when we talk, and they know whatever said between us, it ain't going nowhere else. It's staying right there. Because you have to have that counsel. You have to have good godly counsel. You have to have somebody that you can talk to. If you just, continually holding stuff in all the time and you have no one that you can confide in, yes, we take all of our cares to the Lord. But in the scripture, it says confession falls one to another. So remember that, that even in that confession, it don't mean just because I just pray silently that you dealing with it. God bring people into your lives to help you work through situations. And so I'm grateful for that. You just have to have the discernment of who it is he brought in your life. Okay. Anybody want to say something about that?
I'll say when you hit on that confidentiality, yeah, that's a big thing. That's kind of like why my relationships aren't close with women. I think that being younger, when I would tell people things, and people would, I think, tell other people, that kind of broke my confidence in people, and in most, especially like women relationships. So that broke my confidence. I really don't share with people, you know. There's always the hesitation. You never know, And also, I try to make it a thing to not tell other people, if it's not going to help, like if it's not to like help a situation, I'm not going to go off and tell other people's business. It's not what I do. And most
Mhm.
of the times, if I don't think I can hold to myself, I really don't ask so that I don't be accused later as being the one who told it.
Okay, y'all. We got guests trying to come into the studio tonight, and I'm
Because some,
sorry, but I can't seem to get anybody else on the studio stage tonight. So I'm
some,
gonna ask the guests that are trying to come into the studio, go over to the Facebook or to the YouTube, and we are streaming live from all of those arenas, and you can leave your comments up, and we're able to see them. Okay.
I really, and also like things that I would say from my
Mhm.
20 now. Interestingly enough, now if you were gonna take it back to 20 years, I would have to say I was out of control. I was probably a Mama Kathy at that time, and Melly, you know it. And so we just
No, pretty good.
oh I was acting up at 22, 23. Oh, I was showing out. You could stop. Don't tell me nothing. You couldn't hold me down. But at 25, I think I learned fast. Um, I learned fast, especially like when I got ready to move to North Carolina. That was the last straw, about my temper at that moment and where it could take me. So that was a good lesson. But I will say that like I did get a chance to get moving here and being the
Mhm.
age I am now, I got a chance to. It's like me and my mom had another type of time to grow up. Like I got time to like redo the first 15 years, 15, 16 years that we didn't have close in the first place. But it's like it restarted over when I got here. So
Absolutely. And I think and I feel that same way because we keep it real, y'all. This real talk, and I'll tell you, we had some situations, okay, and so grateful to God that through the growth in our spiritual lives as well as our physical lives, that we are able to now have a great mother-daughter relationship. Because it just used to get to the point where I just wanted to scream and she was screaming and we was always screaming and nobody was really listening to what each other was saying. um, and then I had to get to the point and realize that my daughter is now a grown woman, she's not a child. And so I'm gonna throw that out there, because we are parents, each and every one of us on this line tonight. What about those relationships, that were strained with our children? Are they better now? Um, you know, and we can really, we can relate to a lot of things. And I know Kathy and and I know Trudy, you young people, all of us really, we can relate to situations that arose from addiction one way or the other. And even if it wasn't that, it was just really not great communication. Once you learn how to communicate with one another, it really, really opens up a whole lot of avenues. Being able to hear somebody when they're talking to you, and respecting what they are saying. Because, see, we always say this when we start: you have the right to agree or disagree with anything that we say. We're still going to love you. You got the right to be different. Okay? And that's what I've found out with our relationships. I can't make her be a twin to me. I need to accept her just the way she is. Her house ain't my house. If she don't want to kick her rug straight and she want to turn it crooked, I ain't going over there and straighten out her rug. Those are some, just some little old things that would just get on my nerve, and I would just blow it all up into a piece. It is not my party, and I have learned, by the grace of God, how to stay in my lane. So come on, y'all. One of
I,
y'all kick it.
I've learned that listening is a gift. Uh, because a lot of times, and how people have taught me that they would call me and talk to me, and then I want to throw in my advice or, girl, if that yada yada yada, and you need to do it this way or go over this way, and I learned that when people call me and talk to me, they all they want me to do is to listen, and that's what I've learned. I've learned to listen and not talk so much, because listening is a gift. Everybody can't listen. I don't know how to listen, but I can't. The pastor told me one time when I was talking to him about this young lady that called me and telling me how her man, and I was saying, girl, if I was you, I'd leave him. And the pastor told me, if you tell her to leave him, then you need to have a place for her to come to.
That's exactly what my mama told me. She said, don't leave that man. If whoever told you that ain't got nowhere for you to lay your head.
So I didn't have no place where she couldn't come to my house.
Yeah.
Said that was.
So I think I heard Trudy saying something on that.
Yeah.
Man, we got somebody really trying to come in on this broadcast. And Trudy, was that you that had something that you were saying? That's what your mama told you?
Yeah, so when I was pregnant with my daughter and I was going through with her dad, my friends was telling me I needed to leave him. And my mom said, well, if they don't have somewhere to put you, I wouldn't do that. She made it clear. But even if they didn't have somewhere to put me, I still should have left.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. What about some bad advice you got at that age? Because sometimes people can tell you the wrong thing, mess up your whole trajectory. Just
and they tell you on purpose, and they tell you that on purpose.
Right.
All right. Okay. So
I'm gonna tell you to leave. I'm gonna tell you to leave them. If they're abusive, leave them. You'll figure it out from there. You covered by the blood of Jesus. He'll make a way. Don't keep putting yourself in that same position, especially if there's kids involved, because you got little girls. They're gonna grow up thinking that that's the normal. That's what they're gonna look for. They're gonna look for that type of man. If you got little boys, he's gonna grow up thinking that's the normal. If he's not mentally strong to see, like I grew up watching my stepdad jump on my mom. So it's like, no, that's not normal. Like I'm always taught you don't put your hands on women. So, I would encourage you to move along, you know what I'm saying? Whether if I'm the one telling you and I don't have a place for you to come, don't keep putting yourself to it. Because
make a plan to go.
It can end up either you kill him or he kill you. Don't keep subjecting yourself to it.
But I say that I hear what you're saying, and that is so true what you're saying. But I have to allow that person to come up with their own solution to their own problem. I have to allow that person to get in touch with a God, whoever they're them, what they need to be strong enough to walk away. Because a lot of times I was in that situation. A lot of times I didn't know how to get away. I was stuck.
You know what, Mom? Me and Mom were just talking about that the other day about these relationships and addictions and what you put into place when you say to look for your God. Sometimes women do make men and men make women their God.
That's true.
And so, especially, people could be around you telling you, you could do this with your life, you could do that, you could do that. But if that person that you laying in bed with sleep would tell you can't be nothing in your life, you can't do nothing, you're going to take their word for it first. Because, that's where your attention, where, you know what I'm saying? That's where you're trying to receive affection from.
That's where your trust in is coming from.
Yeah. And so, and that's like and we know that's a false trust, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we were talking about that, I think day before yesterday, about, how many people, like, what is
So true.
your God?
Mm-hmm.
Who is your
So,
God?
so I
Sorry.
want to say, Trudy, did you have something you were about to say?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so yeah, Rose, you're right. And I agree. I hear both Catherine and Mel. I hear his side where he say, "I tell them to leave." I hear Catherine when she say, "But where I don't have a place to put them," and just like the discussion we had, sometimes people leave one thing, just like we were talking about tonight. What do you let go? Have you thought you let it go, but you're still holding it on or holding on to it, or it's actually something you holding on to that's hindering you from progressing further? Addiction is so many things. And when people make other people their gods or other things their God, because that is one, I guess that's one of those things when we talk about recovery and we talk about people finding their God. There's only one God in my book. And I know people have to come to that knowledge and understanding for themselves. But at all times, I've truly been, there's something been going on all this past couple of weeks that we were talking about this morning. We do a little scripture thing in the morning, and we were talking about the disobedience to God. Because I was reading in Kings, and we were talking about how um, when Ahab disobeyed God and didn't do what he said, as soon as you leave from the prophet's presence, a lion gonna get you and slay you and slew you. And sure enough, soon as the prophet departed, the lion came up on him, and then bam. It was I think we were talking about King Benadad. And so we were talking about just being disobedience in our lives, not listening to our own selves. Because there's a spirit inside of each and every one of us, a sense that tells us the right and the wrong. Even people who say they don't believe in God, you breathing air, you walking the earth, you eating food that grew from something. Um, you didn't do all this on your own, and I don't see the sun, moon, or the sky that came down and gave you life. So I'm going on to say, and some people might, play my video and get very angry, but it's okay because you got the right to agree or disagree or anything that we say here. I'm still gonna love you. We're still gonna love you. So my thing is, it's the disobedience part, and then you get caught up into following the clique. You know, um, you get so caught up in a relationship with somebody that you can't find yourself. Everything they say is your truth. So you haven't found your own truth. And I know they say in recovery, you gotta wait for people to, they gotta figure it out and figure it out. Sometimes, we have to really plant those seeds. We have to really either do the watering, keep providing information. They keep on picking to their hearts and picking at their spirit, keep dropping those seeds and those little the information that we provide that will help them get to a point that you know think about, well, maybe what I am doing ain't working. Clearly we know that a fool is someone who does the same thing over and again and expect a different result. You got to do something different if you want something different to happen. So one of y'all go ahead.
I think you definitely have to be a gardener in people's life. You have to be a gardener in order to plant seeds, in order to get
Hmm.
it to grow and water it and nurture it. You have to be a gardener. The person that whose life you're trying to be a gardener in, at first they're gonna be blinded, they're gonna be dumbfounded to it. They're not gonna understand because they're so used to going through what they're going through with their spouse or whatever they're going through, their
Mm-hmm.
addictions or whatever. And in order for them to come through it, they need that lock hold. They need that support system. And we tend to, oh, you know what? I ain't finna keep doing this. I ain't finna keep helping this person. They don't want no help. No, you still have to help them because they dealing with some type of sickness or illness or disease, which addiction is a disease or abuse is a disease. You have to
Mhm.
continue to do it. You have to continue to nurture them for them to see. Because I like right now, you have to think you and Rose is in North Carolina or South Carolina or whatnot. And
Mhm.
I've never been there, but I have been there because I get to see the world through your eyes. You know, if you seen something funny today and you thought, oh, you know, that'll make my nephew smile or that'll make him laugh, and you tell me, I'm seeing the world through your eyes. So,
Mhm.
in order for this person to get past addiction or to get past the abuse, they have to see the good of the world through your eyes. For them to say, you know what, I don't like it over here. It's dark over here. It's nothing but evil. It's nothing but everything that you
Mhm.
don't agree with. Yeah, let me
Mhm.
go on and make this transition. I'm gonna go ahead and try to kick this drug or try to kick this abusive relationship or whatever, whatnot. So yeah, I think that we have to be a strong, a very strong individual to put up with it, to help someone overcome those things. Because if you give up on them, then they definitely give up on themselves, and you don't know their mentality for real. They might just say, you know what, it ain't even worth living no more, and take their life
Mhm.
or OD or some form of fashion.
And you just said something that, and Catherine, I'm gonna, or Trudy or Rose, I'm gonna come over to either one of you. But you just said something that really touched my spirit when you said people give up on people. Um, Being in peer support and advocating for people with addictions and abuse. Catherine, um, is there a point where you feel you should stop and give up?
No, I don't give up on them, but I have to let them know that they got to help me help them. And they got to be willing to take my suggestion because I'm suggesting whatever it is to them because I have experience in that area. But people don't want, they want help, but they're afraid of help. And so, no, I don't give up on them, but I can't make them do anything. If they don't want to do it, I can't make them do it. So I'll be there when you call me, or if you need me, call me and I'll be there. But if I'm working with you on a regular basis and I see that I'm doing more work for you than you doing for yourself, then I got to back up
Mhm.
because what I, for me, I'll take on their burden. And
Mhm.
that's not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to lead them and guide them, not take on their burden. And when I take on their burden, I can't think about what's going on in my own life. I get all discombobulated, you know, trying to figure out my trying to figure out my own thing. But then I've also noticed, and this was for me, I didn't do anything different until the pain got great enough. And when the pain got great enough, I did something different. And then I looked to other people to do for me what I couldn't do for myself. And what I found out is that can do for me what I can't do for myself. And
Uh-oh. What
ev-
happened? We missed something.
and everybody was taken away from me. Everybody. God did it. God did it. And it wasn't nobody but God left. Me and God. There was nobody else left. And that's when I began to establish an intimate relationship with God. That I was able to walk out that trap house and go get me some recovery. And I've been clean ever since. And that was in September of 2000. And I've been clean ever since. When I began to establish an intimate relationship with God, because God, I was mad at God, but God told me, I made you a free will agent, and I'm not going to make you do anything. I'm going to be right here though when you finish, but I ain't going to make you do nothing. And he didn't. The pain got great enough that I made the decision to walk out that crack house and go get me some help. And my life has just been miraculous ever since. And I don't look to people no more. I look to God. And a lot of times when Rose was talking about sharing with other women, I was thinking to myself that what I've learned is that some things God don't want me to tell other people. Mm-hmm. Some things God wants me to make personal between me and him. Mm-hmm. He don't want him and her and them and all of these people to help me. He wants to show me a way that man ain't got. And so I had to learn.
I agree with you on that. So one of y'all coming in, Trudy?
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to say that sometimes giving up on people ain't a bad thing, because it forces them to grow up and it forces them to make life-changing decisions that will benefit their future. If you keep making decisions or keep encouraging people to go a certain way, they're most likely they're not going to want to go, or that they aren't able to go, then you're their guardian. Sometimes we have to get out and experience things with nobody's help. That's how we learn the most, I feel. So giving up on somebody, I know people be looking at it like a bad thing, but sometimes it's necessary. It's a necessity. So.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
I don't think it's giving up. I think it's just walking away or stepping back and letting them find their own way. I don't think it's giving up on them, Trudy.
No, I'm saying the same thing. I'm just putting it in different words.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, like when you say sometimes you have to give up on them, I really realistically can't say I done seen anybody that if you give up on them and they've overcame whatever and been prosperous. It's something is either landed them in prison or in the graveyard when you give up on. When you're the only one that they depended on. So I've never seen good come from when someone give up on you. And it doesn't make the relationship between you, better. That's just me personally. I don't know. Maybe it does happen. Maybe and maybe you didn't mean it that way. Maybe you probably, like you just said, you worded it wrong or whatever. Just took a step back. Like I can see that, but like if you just wholeheartedly give up on this person, I don't see them coming out from under that rock and being, healed or almost healed or successful in whatever their endeavors is as far as getting through something that was just taking them down. It's like, I don't know. I don't understand it because when suicide comes in, suicide is like, to me, my honest opinion would think like the scriptures is pretty much saying that you can't ask for forgiveness in suicide. You can be forgiven for every sin under the known to the book or the Bible, but you can't be forgiven for suicide because you can't ask for forgiveness in death. So, and I would think like if someone depended on me so much, and then I just, what, I'm done, I'm straight, I don't ever want to talk to you again, just do whatever you're gonna do and really give up on them and really cut off communication, interactions, I don't see them coming up out of that. I see them either going down destruction a lot more than what it was, and then it'll take from somebody else or something else more dramatic to bring them out. And I know it didn't come from me saying I give up on you. I know it ain't no way possible.
Well,
So
so
I'm sorry, Trudy, you had something to say?
so I just know of two incidents, and y'all might not have had uh, seen it yet, but I know one was at um, Springfield, and one of the deacons was telling me that he had to give up on his brother. He said his brother just would not be a man, would not do what he wants. As soon as he let go and quit doing everything for him, said that's when his brother stepped up and became the man that he was supposed to have been. My neighbor, she, I mean, I don't like to tell nobody business, but she was downhill. She was strung out on drugs. I don't know if she still is, but soon as people start giving up on her, and I know her daughters gave up on her because they don't come over there anymore. And I know her mom doesn't have anything to do with it because she keeps sending the sheriff over there whenever she tries to get visitation rights with the younger daughter. And now she's into management. She goes to work. She has a car. She keeps her bills paid now. So I've seen it done. And I wouldn't have said it had I not seen it. That's not my intentions is to hurt. My intentions are not to hurt anybody personally. If I hadn't seen, I would have never said it. So I'm going on experiences that I've seen. And like I said, sometimes when you give up on somebody, if you step to the side, I'm not saying you have to like totally throw them out your life, but sometimes that's what it takes, though. Sometimes you have to
Well,
use
you
tough
know what?
love.
And you
See,
know
that's the thing
what?
I want to ask.
I'm
So
gonna pick I'm gonna pick
do
back.
you think it was giving up or just taking a step back? Because I think if
Okay.
you give up, like you really cut that out of your life. Like even once they get done, once they do make it good, they're still not a part of your life if you give up. You wash your
Well,
hands with it.
she's doing
But
good, and they still ain't came around. You see what I'm
I
saying?
don't think it's because of them.
I mean, it could be
They
because of
might have
anything, but that's my view.
right. No, I'm just
Okay.
going off what you're saying. I don't believe that it would be because of they did what they did. That probably contributed because they still ain't in her life. So they probably contributed and probably directed her path, but I don't think her graciousness or prospering came from them doing that.
So I'm gonna jump in here on this, and I'm gonna say this because I've seen both sides of it. When we say give up, and I heard what you just said, Mel, when you said like totally, even when they get it together, don't come back. Um, this has been my experience, and being in addiction and all that going on. Um, but knowing that, seeing the other side of it, just like Trudy said, sometimes it takes tough love. We know from dealing with people in situations that when we say we step back, we take our hands off. Sometimes we have to move out of the way because it's a job for God. And just like Kathy just shared about how it wasn't until she got along with God to truly get recovery. Because even when people, step back, if they still show that if I cry enough tears or my situation get bad enough, you're going to jump back in and rescue me, I have learned nothing. I just continue the same path. And so it does take that tough love sometimes, no matter. And this is why we always have to ask God to condition our hearts, whatever the situation is. I'm going to talk personally from here that I had a problem with rescuing one of my children, and it ain't the one on the call. But I had to pray for God to condition my heart to accept whatever he brings down the line for my child. Because if I believe the word when it says that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord, he was brought up in the adoration of the Lord. And so somewhere he decided to go on down his own path. And I know I need to move so the Lord can bring it back. So I had to cut it all off. I can't give you $5 for gas. I can't give you $2 for this. Or I can't condone you when you over here doing wrong. I don't want to participate in any of it. I just want God to give me that peace that passes all understanding. So whatever comes down the pipe, I'm able to handle it. And that's the way we say about taking our hands off the situation, because a lot of times it is a job for God, because we have learned so many times how to, manipulate and if I do this, I do that, I'll get this result, but never once, being left alone to, and it took that for me as well, being left alone where everybody just dissipated and I had some stuff so out of control in my life. And for one moment and second in time of my getting high, God showed me. I looked in the mirror and I saw myself. And I was sitting there really contemplating suicide. Because I told God it was near you. I'm tired of this life and I don't want to do it anymore. So it took that moment for me to get that true connection where I knew it was only him that I could trust and I could lean on, I could depend on. Because no matter how mama kept giving me $5 or, it wasn't giving me what I needed to move forward. So everybody had to step away. They did. God had to get me to myself. So mind you, when we say take our hands off, some things are truly a job for God. And if you keep your hands on the situation because you feel like, I got to keep helping this person, I got to keep doing this, it is my duty, it ain't your duty. You got to pray, you got to get your assignment, you got to know what it is. But understand there's only one that saves. We can't save nobody. We can't send nobody to heaven or to hell.
Amen.
Send a bullet. See, thinking about what Trudy said, and then what you just said, I see what she was saying now. Maybe it just to say give up. It just sounds so harsh, but yeah, maybe yeah, that probably did work for them, for her family to give up on her and let God step in. God probably told them, you know what, y'all need to step back because y'all ain't doing nothing but making it worse because she's gonna keep using you for a clutch. And just let me work in her. So okay, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Sometimes we take on too much responsibility for others instead of being responsible for ourselves. And it can weigh us down.
These shoulders are starting to hurt.
Yes, it weighs down. Come on, come on, little cuz.
These shoulders,
we need you to come on.
I got a little small frame. These shoulders are starting to hurt, I got a little small frame, but I still pile it up there.
Get the weights off, because understand that when the Lord is trying to set you free of something, get free. Because it's a hard matter. It's to the core where you have to let God do what God do. And that's what's that thing we were talking about tonight, holding on to things that are hindering you from your progress. And I want all of us to think about it, share it with somebody else, because you may be holding on to something or somebody or something and trying to help too much and don't even realize that you're doing it. Okay. Come on.
So have one of you ladies seen a situation where someone, or even, someone, maybe yourself, been there for somebody and been trying to help them, and then it like the table turns and it brought you down and led you down a path of, destruction or abuse or addiction in the midst of you helping them, and they probably lightweight turned around and started doing right, but now you're doing bad. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah, you can. Let me tell you something, and truly, I know you could bear witness to this, and probably many of our viewers. Um, this is what we talk about. I was just talking about somebody when we talk about putting our money, whatever, in pockets with holes in, casting your pearls to the swine. You're going to keep on telling somebody and giving them right instructions and sharing all the information you have, and they just keep kicking in the corner like it didn't matter. And then they keep coming back and draining you, and you keep giving them more, but they're not really utilizing what you're giving them. So who the fool? Because you keep doing the same thing over, and they just keep coming back because it works for what it is. Their purpose is to keep coming back to you. I tell people, even in addiction, when you are giving an addict your money all the time, or someone in a situation that they have put themselves in that situation, and you keep pouring your money into it, and now you are in a point where you are without because you have helped this person so much, you forgot about yourself. And sooner or later, it spews over into your avenue. If you keep adding to something that's not profitable to your life, sooner or later, it spew over and you become part of that unprofitable thing. So come on, ladies, share.
Rose is mighty quiet.
Oh no,
I
I
am
was thinking.
Rose.
Nope, you're right because absolutely. Just was having this conversation with somebody, and you already know, and y'all know. I don't know if my cousin know, but if you don't know, you can't come to me with the same problem all the time, because I'm gonna quit advising you on it. I'm gonna lock my lips. I'm gonna see what you gonna do. Just because I don't have time to keep talking to you about the same thing. But just like you were saying, we had that information, and just a few weeks back, some things were said to me that people got a little smarty mouth. Where the old me would have went all the way off. But like I said, and you ain't gonna do this and this, that, and that. You know me. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. So sometimes I'm just be a little grateful. But today, and like I said, and the person got real ugly with me on the phone, and well, try to get well, they got ugly with me and this, that, and nothing, this, that, and don't worry about it. 'Cause I said, well, don't worry about it because you need me before I need you. And so, normally people used to, the same person they used to me, you pop off and say so smart, you get it. But it just happened to be during that, everybody knows like during my birthday time, I have a 30-day cutoff period. And during that time, if I get word that you're supposed to be cut off, you're cut off and there ain't no coming back. So just so happened you made it on the last day of the cutoff period. I had actually made it all the 30 days without having to cut nobody off. And what should happen? It appeared. So today, as my phone rang, it must have, and my phone rang, and it was like well, hey, how you doing? I was trying to wonder, could I do this? Well, that answer is no. And like I said before, you don't have access to me no more. We cool, we ain't cool. You good over there, and I'm great right here. So it's one of those things, where you used to coming to me, you know, begging for what you need and getting what you want. But now the you know the well has been cut off, and so now you go ahead and sit on what with the last thing you said to me. So you go ahead with that, and I ain't gonna wish any bad upon you. I don't wish no bad upon you. I don't wish nothing like that. I don't wish you no ill will, nothing like that. But just trust and believe. My forgiveness and is one thing, but having your access to me is another. So yeah, being able to cut off those people who keep using you to draw the energy off of and using you to get that little step ahead, and you know, uh, the gang of takers. You know what I'm saying? They never used to give it nothing. But as soon as I get on my feet, I'm gonna do this for you. As soon as they get on their feet, you don't see them no more. Look up. But you show see them when they need something, you know. So you right. Having people who keep pouring out, and that's the same thing that goes with advice, with to keep helping people out of situations that they know they need to walk away from. And even that thing, even mom, know what I'm talking about. That thing has consumed you now. So now you are a part of that thing that you were addicted to. Now you are a part of that addiction. That thing is taking you down so much that that thing is drug you down so much that
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I do know, and it just hits right on base of what we're talking about tonight when it comes to addiction and
Mhm.
abusive relationships and all the above.
Yeah.
People you become a taker. You forget, people who do things for you, and then you just keep coming back and sucking the well dry. I just want, and truly, I'm gonna give you a chance to say something on this. Um, and it just kept weighing on my heart about what he was just talking about with, you know, when do you stop giving? Because it becomes, it becomes unprofitable to you to keep spreading yourself thin, and no one's pouring back into you, but you keep trying to pour and rescue everybody else. I don't know why I feel the need to say that tonight. Um, I'm always led by the spirit, whatever's going on here. Trust, I pray before we get online, and I just let the Lord do what he do on this Real Talk 100. We have a new format, and I'm really grateful that we do, because I want to know that we are helping people with what we talk about tonight. And not only just people, we help each other on this line, because everything that's said and listened to, it's encouraging, empowering, strengthening us to a better position in life. And with that said, Trudy, did you have something you wanted to say?
Well, in all reality, you can't go into everybody that's in your life. I mean, sometimes it takes a village, and other members of the village is going to have to take up some responsibilities too, as well as the person that's in need. Um, I feel like, um, as far as people pouring back into you, my honest opinion is that's what the word is for. You don't need humans to really pour back into you. Yeah, we need that connection and everything, but sometimes it just takes the word, reading the word, studying the word. That's what strengthens you. Because everybody's not gonna say something that's gonna empower you or make you smile. And the truth hurts. And nobody really likes to hear it. I don't care what side of the words you on. You know what I'm saying? Even as a Christian, there's some things that we don't like to hear, but it's the truth, and we have to face it and accept it. So if there is no one in your life that can encourage you after somebody has drained you, that's what the spirit is for. To rejuvenate you, to fill you back up, to motivate you, to instill um, uh, qualities in you that keeps you going on.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
You're right. 'Cause it's like having that little cup of water at the pump where you're supposed to keep the cup of water to prime the pump. Let me tell you something. I learned a long time ago not to pour myself all the way out. And when I do, I know how to pick up the phone, call my mother, or I holler over there, tell Alexa to play some gospel music, and I go ahead and encourage myself. And to my cousin Tyshawn, I love you too.
You say what, God?
Okay.
What
He
say?
got up and walked away, didn't
No, cousin, no,
But
yeah,
and I want to, and yes, and I hear Trudy, and I hear you, Rose, I heard you, Mel. I want to say this. I want to say that, everybody don't know how to pick up the word. Everybody has not gotten to that point. So you have to figure out what gets you out of that bad place in your life. Meditation, getting time alone, like you said, some music, something that will get you out of that arena of feeling down and downtrodden, because you have to find a way to encourage yourself when no one else is around. What do? And that's interesting because we just did last month, we had a free course that we were offering, the rap course that we were doing, and it is called the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. I have books and all that good stuff too. I think it's beneficial to everybody, whether you're sick or well, because it really teaches you a lot about you and about taking care of you and how to advocate for yourself when, even when you have other people around you. People need to know what it takes. When you angry, some people got a habit of, they see somebody upset, they want to wrap their arms around them and don't be crying, don't be mad. Well, I don't want you putting your hands on me. And if I tell you that that's something that is not going to make my situation better, I need you to understand that. I need you to clearly understand I have a plan. And if I tell you this, if we together and this happened, do not put your arms around me. Just let me be. I just need to walk it out, pray it out, talk it out. But understand that this information, it is so important. If y'all are interested in doing it, contact my daughter's house. We could do an online course, wherever. We got people waiting to facilitate for you and to provide you with the information and how to get in there. But everybody does need to learn how to take care of themselves, how to advocate for you. Nobody can advocate better. I got a little feedback. But yes, we have to learn how to be well within ourselves, spiritually, mentally, and physically. We take on so much of everybody else's worries and problems and woes. We have to learn what it takes to keep us well. At 25 years old, and when we were talking about it, and talking about what we would tell our 25-year-old self. All that stuff at my 25 years of age that drove me out into the world of drugs and drinking, alcohol, because I was taking care of mamas, sisters, brothers, everybody in the world except for me. And I've gotten to the point where I've learned how to take care of me. And I kind of like it. Matter of fact, I love it. So, it's important. It's important that you learn what it is you need to be better. And so I just wanted to add that.
In the Bible, I forgot.
So Mel, were you saying something?
I was listening.
Yeah.
I think Trudy was talking.
Trudy, yes, you were saying.
Yeah, in the Bible where Moses was having trouble trying to fix everybody's problem. So the man came to him and was like, well, your problem is you trying to do everything, and that's not what you're here for. And he started assigning deacons to him. Sometimes you're going to have to get away from people that's always got a sad story. We all got sad stories. You know what I'm saying? But some people, they don't have a bright light, and no matter what you put in their lives, whether it's something that they like, whether it's something that they need, that they don't need, they're going to always have a sad story, and sometimes they just don't want to see that silver line.
Oh,
because it brings them attention.
Yeah.
And that's the draining part right there. You drain. Yeah, you telling all these sad stories after another one. If you have that many sad stories, and I hate to say this because I don't like for humans to make the decision of life or not. God has that decision because He gives it to us. But you don't even need to be here. Right. As a Christian, or as a person that's trying to strive for better, there's no reason why you can't have at least one good day out of a lifetime. I don't care if it was the birthday and you made your mama happy.
Or you know what, Sister Trudy, I just got done having this conversation with Mom the other day. But somebody told me, when they're going through the trials and tribulations, you was having a good time at first. You get one obstacle, and now everything you talk about is negative. Don't tell me you should just go ahead and lay up there, and you feel like you want to give up, girl. Just go on, lay back, relax, and give up. Who give up? You never knew me. Everybody know I don't give up. Who give
Right,
up?
right. But you know what I learned, sister? You know what I learned, Sister Rose? You know what I learned, Mr. Carter?
But
Yeah, you know I
Go,
had to throw
girl.
that in. What I learned is in the midst of your troubles, when it's the worst, when you give God praise, that's when the best results come out. In the midst of your troubles, praise Him.
Absolutely.
Don't wait till after it's done. Do it in the midst of your troubles, and I guarantee you'll be like, whoa, I wasn't even
Amen.
expecting that. Like, for real. For
amen.
real.
Absolutely. Well,
Absolutely.
you know what? I want to thank Trudy for that last note right there, guys, because we do have to sign off. It is 8:45. Y'all know this was good conversation tonight because we actually have gone over. Oh, and I thank y'all for being present tonight. I want to thank Catherine who has ducked out. Hey, we got my other sister here tonight, and she just chimed in. Hey, sister. Happy to see
Hey,
you
Miss
here.
Cat.
And so I really want to thank you for that word that you just put in, Trudy, because it's a good note to leave on, knowing that we always can trust God. we can lean on Him, continue to depend on Him, and every day might not be a good day, but you woke up and He blessed you with it. So make something of it. Be grateful. Praise Him through the bad. Because
Mhm.
believe me, it don't last long.
You don't. You don't.
All right. So I want to thank y'all for coming on tonight. Y'all know I have to send out all of these announcements right quick. Don't forget about the fundraiser we're doing for dry goods. You can cash out from us some funding if you need us to buy products. We're doing backpacks, personal items for the homeless. And we're having a big event here August the 12th and Wednesday 7th. And I am counting on all my vendors, supporters, families, and friends to reach out and help us make this happen. Um, we are trying to get the kids back to school in an area that really does need help. So I also want to thank our sisters with Sisters of Bag because I thank them for their contribution to and supporting each other. We all have to support one another. It's important. Now you can go over there and throw up some stars because if you put some stars up on our YouTube or something, so somewhere over there, it goes right into the nonprofit. So that goes right to the nonprofit, straight and helping women in recovery. Um, so everybody just keep watching my Facebook, watching my YouTube. Please like and subscribe so we can get that up and running on that channel. I love my sisters. I love my brothers here. I thank y'all for supporting and watching us every night. This is Real Talk 100 with my favorite friends here. My nephew coming from Texas here. We have Mel and we have Trudy coming from South Carolina. And we have
No, she
Rose
ain't
from
in
North.
South Carolina. Who is
She's in
South
South Carolina. She's still in North Carolina, y'all. Okay. I ain't want to tell the exact disclosed location. But we are traveling all around the world with this thing, and I'm so grateful now that we have Texas in the house as well. So thank y'all for joining us. And as usual, we say you have the right to agree or disagree with anything that we've said here tonight, and we're still going to love you. Join us again next week, Friday, for Real Talk 100. All right, you ladies got anything? You got 1 minute?
Yep.
Send
I
it
just
out.
want to say congratulations to Sister Trudy on the new grandbaby. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You got one more thing to
Absolutely.
pull. I know what's going down. And this, to my cousin Melly, I know he had something in his eye. I love him and I thank him. To Miss Pat and Tyshawn who's in the chat. I love y'all so much, Tyshawn. Happy late birthday. I didn't forget. You just wasn't accessible. And Miss Pat, thank you for being beautiful as you are. And to my mother, thank you, Mama. I love you so much.
I
Um,
love you.
and I just want to say that I'm trying real hard to cut off one of the things draining my resources, which would be an 18, almost 18-year-old. He's getting cut off. So I do hear everything y'all saying. He's draining
I
the
don't know why I
resources.
should be picking on my grandbabies, y'all.
It's a wrap.
All right, Trudy, go ahead with it.
I just want to thank you for allowing me to comment on here and inviting me to the forum. I hope you all have a blessed weekend, and thank you for the baby shout out.
Awesome. Thank you all. Have a blessed and awesome night. And we'll see y'all next week, Friday. Real Talk 100.
Bye,
All right,
Shirley.
Melly, I'm going to close it out
Bye,
for you,
Melly.
Melly. We'll see you later. Keep listening in the box, but we know that he has well wishes for the audience. So thank you guys. Good night.
Good night.